Hey guys, welcome back to my another video on C Sharp collection series. In my last video, we have understood what is dictionary, when to use them, and learned how to use few primary methods of dictionary. In this video, we will see just one thing, how to use a custom type as a dictionary key. I mean any user-defined class as a key to the dictionary. But before that, if you have not subscribed the channel, then consider subscribing it for all the exciting videos on C Sharp and other technologies. So let's get started. So by now you know how to use a dictionary, right? That's var my dictionary equal to dictionary and then the data type of your key and type of value. Till now we have seen the keys only as a primitive type, that's int or string. Now how about having a key as a custom type? I mean a user defined class? Let's see that. Let me create a class, public class country code. This will be our key. Let's have a public property. Let's initialize this property using constructor. Now let's have another class ambassador. This will basically be the values. Let's create couple of properties. First property will be country code, which will hold the country code, name and age. Now let's create a dictionary to hold the country code and its corresponding ambassador. Var ambassadors equal to new dictionary. So the key will be country code, right? We want to have a custom type and the value will be its corresponding ambassador. Let's create few ambassadors now. England. Say this instance will store details about England ambassador. Now the country code is an instance of country code class and let's pass in eng as the code. Let's say the name is John and age equal to 25. Let's create one more. Now let's add these ambassadors to our dictionary. Let me add the other one as well. You can see here the key is not a primitive type like int or string. It is our custom class, the country code. Now let's see how can we look up for ambassadors using country code. Let's get the country code from the user. Enter country code. Next we have to look up the ambassador in our dictionary with the given country code. So do you remember the best way of looking an item in a dictionary? Yes, that's using try get value, right? Let's do that. If ambassadors dot try get value, user input code and an out parameter which should contain our respective ambassador object. Let me print the name. Else, the ambassador with given code does not exist in the dictionary. Let's run this. Let me give the country code as ENG. Hey, it does not give me the value. Ideally, since ENG is the code of John, it should have printed the ambassador is John, right? Why do you think we did not get the proper result? That's because with this code, Our runtime is comparing two different references of our country code class and not the value of it. Actually, by default, our dictionary calls equals and getHasCode methods from object class in order to compare a key. And the default comparison compares the references of two instances and not the value. And hence, we get an unexpected result. Now to solve this problem, we have to override the default equal method and getHasCode and write our logic to ensure that it compares the values of the country code class instance and not the references. Let me quickly write them. Let's override the equal method first. So override, you can see equal method, select that and press tab. Now for comparing the passed in object, we should be first sure that it is not null, right? So let's put that check. If obj equal to null, where obj is a passed in country code, then of course the values will not be equal, right? And no point in moving further. So return false from here. Now one more thing we should be sure, that is the passed in type must be the instance of our country code class. Because if it is some other class, then again no point in comparing their values. So if not obj is country code, then return false. So all checks are done. Now here we are sure that the passed in object is not null and it is definitely a country code class instance. So let's compare the values. String comparer dot ordinal ignore case dot equals what we should compare, that's this dot code and obj, let's convert it to country code class dot country code. That's it. Equals method overriding is done. But if you see the class name, we receive a warning here which says we have not overridden the getHasCode method. It is a warning, which means it is kind of okay not to implement as well. But you know what? For dictionary, we must implement it or else you will not get the expected result. So let's do that. Override space. You see again the getHasCode method. Just select it and tab and return the hash of your property code. Return string comparer dot ordinal ignore case dot getHasCode of this dot code. That's it. Now let's run our program. Let me put a breakpoint. Let's give the country code as ENG again. Let's press F11. It gets the hash code of our property, goes to equal method. The passed in object is not null and is a country code as well. So it comes down, it compares both the code and finds it to be matching and returns true. And finally prints the name of the correct ambassador. Perfect. That's the expected result. So that's how you can make a custom class as a dictionary key. That's all for this video. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and drop in your comments for all the future videos on C# and other technologies. Thanks.